With 7 weeks to go until the World Championships in Beijing, the Diamond League has arrived in Paris. We'll see gold medal contenders and potential challenges to at least 3 world records. The home crowd will roar for France's Renaud Lavillenie. The indoor world record holder dreams one day of breaking the outdoor mark. 2 Ethiopians will race over 5,000 metres, with both trying to be the fastest in history. Almaz Ayana and Genzibi Dibaba meet in what promises to be one of the races of the season. And who knows what's possible when Qatar's Mutaz Essa Barsham takes on the high jump. So, after a 3-week break, the meeting Arriva is the next stop on the worldwide Diamond League Tour. And at the Stade de France, your commentators are Tim Hutchings and Stuart Story.
Welcome to the Stade de France in the north of Paris, and once again to Diamond League action and to the meeting Arriva. First, the hurdles for women, and good evening to Tim Hutchings.
Good evening, everybody. There is the lineup for what is a very strong field in this women's 1-lap 400-metre hurdles. Tough event, although the heats, of course, won't affect these ladies detrimentally. They'll be enjoying these conditions indeed. Well, Cassandra Tate, the NCAA champion back in 2012, is world number 2. That's a time putting her on the rankings, her season's best, 54.01, behind Shamia Little, who ran 53.74, the only athlete under 54 seconds this year at the NCAA Championships 3 weeks ago. Won the US title too, did Little. So the lineup from the inside again: Chaboudet in 1, Russell in 2, Adekoya in 3, then Tate of the USA in 4, Moline in 5, Nell 6, Heinova in 7, watch her, and Pettersen in lane 8. Well, a little slow out of her blocks was Cassandra Tate, but certainly Georgianne Moline too has gone off very slowly. A stride pattern all out there, 4th from left in lane 5. She's got real problems. Going well at the moment, Adekoya in the pink in lane 3, probably leading at the moment. Divides at time between Bahrain, Bulgaria and Nigeria, but leading at the moment. A very aggressive first 200 from her. Going well to extreme left of picture is Heinova, though out in lane 7. This is a better run from the reigning world champion, rounding into form. That was a poor clearance there from Tate in lane 4. Is she tiring now? Hurdle 8. Stutters before that one, but is anybody close enough to come back at them? Second to left there in lane 7 is Heinova, who always finishes strongly. And this is more like the Heinova of 2013. How will she clear that final barrier? Wonderfully. Eases past Tate into the lead, and coming through strongly, Pettersen on the outside takes 2nd place. Heinova, Pettersen and Tate, 1, 2, 3, and I think we can say now quite safely that Susanne Heinova is back, 53.76. It's nearly the fastest time in the world this year. She misses Little's time by just 2 100ths of a second, but that was absolutely fabulous from Heinova. She is a sub-53 second performer at her best, but she judged that one absolutely to perfection. It probably helped her, Stuart Story, that she had a good Dane outside her to the extreme left there, Pettersen.
Yes, she did, and you have to say that Adekoya of Bahrain performed well, but suffered really that first 200 metres a little bit too quick. Heinova, a much more paced and even-paced race, and came through very, very strongly as Adekoya fades to 3rd place, with Pettersen of Denmark into 2nd place.
Confirmation of that win for Heinova then, 53.76, a season's best for her by a long way. Pettersen, a national record, 53.99. That's 4 national records in 4 races. And Adekoya in 3rd place. 5.71 the opening height for Renaud Lavillenie. Relatively safe height for him. Remember, he's a man who, at his best, can clear way beyond 6 metres. Indeed, 6.05 is best, his lifetime best, on the 30th of May. And coming in Eugene at the Prefontaine Classic in front of that knowledgeable crowd. What can he do here in front of a home crowd? 5.71. Yeah, easy enough. Still enjoys it though, doesn't he? He's probably got several more heights in him, but he milks it for all he can, and rightly so. He's a great entertainer. Outright world record holder, of course, with that 6.16 from the Donetsk indoor meeting, 18 months or so ago, and he's way, way beyond that. That was 5.71. That was probably a 6-metre vault.
Coming up, we'll see the man who leads the way in the 400 metres this season, the Olympic champion Kirani James.
It's going to be all about Kirani James. Look at the clock. a super race from him.
Double European champion Daphne Schippers makes her first Diamond League appearance since giving up heptathlon to concentrate on sprinting. And for the first time this season, Alma Zayana and Ganzibi Dibaba meet over 5,000 metres, with both aiming for the world record. This Diamond League meeting also witnessed an historic moment, the awarding to the French 4x100 relay team of their Olympic medals from the London Games in 2012. They finished fourth on the day, but the American team was stripped of their second place because of Tyson Gay's drug suspension. So the French quartet of Jimmy Vico, Pierre-Alexis Pessonneau, Christophe Lemaitre and Ronald Prognon were presented with the bronze medal by Guy Dru, the Olympic champion in the 110 hurdles in 1976.
What a race we've got coming up, the men's 400 metres. It will feature Kirani James, coached these days by Harvey Glance. There are 5 men, incidentally, in the race who've dipped under 45 seconds this season. Jonathan Borlée is the European record holder at 400 metres, 3 times World Championship finalist in individual event and in the 4x4, twice in the 4x4, once in 2011 in the 400. Well, Kirani James, Olympic champion and world champion in 2011. He was the youngest ever world champion at 400 metres in 2011. He's a big fella. He was only 18 in 2011. Well, watch out for Wade van Niekerk of South Africa too. 44.24 in New York in June. His best, that was his personal best, so he's in very good form. Set those records, both of his records incidentally, in New York. Well, David Verburg beat LaShawn Merritt in the American trials to become the American #1 to go to the World Championships, although LaShawn Merritt will go as a wild card. Pavel Mašček of the Czech Republic, the European champion at 400 metres in 2012, world indoor champion, remember, in Sopot, holds the Czech national record. And Michael Berry of the United States, disqualified in the semi-final of the American Championships last weekend. He ran out of his lane. He qualified with 44.81, so he's a very, very disappointed man. Not much in it. Verburg's gone off pretty quickly, but not a lot in it as they go into the back straight. Verburg now is making some headway. He's already up on Mašček of the Czech Republic, and the wide range striding Kirani James heads towards 200 metres. He looks so comfortable, he really does. McDonald of Jamaica going quite well on the inside. But Kirani James, such a powerhouse, just eases round from 200 to 400 metres. Absolutely superb. Borlée chasing him. Verburg now has got a lot of work to do. And look at Van Niekerk on the outside. Van Niekerk is really pressuring. Can he beat Kirani James? This would be a big, big upset. Van Niekerk is coming through to win. Van Niekerk gets James in second place, and I think Verburg may well have got third. 43.97, and that is a national record for South Africa, and that's a sensational performance by Van Niekerk. I said, watch out for him. He ran a perfect race. He had Kirani James, who looked so comfortable at 200, comfortable at 300, but then down the straight, well, who expected that? The World Championships, it can go to several people. 43.96. An African record as well. What about that?
Verburg went off way too quick, third from left there, and so it turned out. But Van Niekerk ran the perfect race. I thought Kirani James was doing the same, but he's just so seldom met somebody better than him over the last 60 or 70 metres. Van Niekerk, the South African, going away from him. Takes a metre out of him in the last 30 or 40 metres. Brilliant running from Van Niekerk to go well below 44 seconds. It's a huge improvement on his previous best of 44.24. But Kirani James has got somebody else to think about this year. Not just, of course, the big, powerful American LaShawn Merritt when he hits his top form, but now a much smaller man, but with quick legs, Van Niekerk.
What a race. Van Niekerk, 43.96. Kirani James, 44.17. David Verburg, 44.81 in third. Let's just catch up with Ukop at 2:19 first. It's very, very early days. And a man who really should find that quite easy. It's not had it easy of late, the Olympic champion in London. Still track-suited, as you can see, just warming into this a little bit. He'll need a great deal more than that. Wasn't particularly impressive, I must say. World Indoor Champion as well back in 2010. But should be a good competition. Here's Eric Kennard of the United States. Now, Kennard is in good form at the moment as well. Looking for 230 plus, he really is. 219. Kennard. Just getting the early jump in, as long as they don't fail, because those failures can act against you later on. Moutez Essabarshim. Well, it's interesting, isn't it? It didn't do quite so well last time out in Oslo. Didn't win when he was supposed to be attacking the world record, but so just coming in to get his getting warmed into the competition. Oh, and that was fairly emphatic, wasn't it? That's just to test the approach, to test everything, just to get the mind in, to get into the right frame of mind. Lovely arch position over the bar. Huge clearance. A man who's jumped 243, of course, just a couple of centimeters off the world record set by Javier Sotomayor in 1993. There's a steeplechase coming up, I can tell you, and it's a good one as well. Big names in this, Tim.
Yes, indeed. 8 out of the top 10 in the world go in this steeplechase. It's still only 11 men have ever broken 8 minutes for this distance, but 3 run in this race tonight. And significantly, one man who hasn't yet done so, but is desperately keen to do so. The American trio who made the World Championship team for Beijing are all here. The first 3 from Eugene last week. Evan Jager there, surrounded by Kenyans. That's apt, because he may well become the race. He's the only non-African born athlete who can really mix it with the Kenyans, the East Africans these days. But Jager in wonderful form. Can you believe he still holds the top of the world rankings at 1,500 metres with 332.97 from a couple of weeks back in Portland, and it's nearly mid-July. But Conseslus Kipruto, the former world youth and world junior champion, 1:8:05 behind Kemboi and Birech, and just ahead of Jager in Eugene. So away they go. Now Evan Jager is a long, loping stride. Will want to stay with his pace, and he does so. Slots right up there into 4th place. The pacemakers in 1 and 2. And then that's Kipruto in 3rd place. Birech, the world number 1 at the moment. I haven't really mentioned him at the moment. He's a world number 2, the Commonwealth silver medalist. Perhaps the future of Kenyan steeplechasing. He's just 22 years old, but he ran 7:58 last year to become one of those 11 men under 8 minutes. And this does look quick. Jager at the moment in 5th place.
Yeah, it is quick, very, very quick indeed, and the evidence is the spread on that field at this early stage. And they'll be looking for an 8-minute pace, and it'll be very interesting to see who will take that. In the past, it has been Birech, and he hasn't been able to hang on in the end, and he's been inside the 8-minute time barrier and then fallen outside of it. He's had far too much to do. Is there anyone here? Will Ezekiel Kemboi be able to do the business? What a run he had in Oslo. He was 10th in 8:30. Don't know what happened to him there, because in Eugene he won the race with 8:01. So there's all sorts of question marks in this race, but it should be a cracker.
Well, Kemboi has won here 4 times in the past. He won her in 2004, 2005, 2006 as well, and then a couple of years ago. Down the home straight in front of us, they'll see 6 laps to go this time. This quartet getting separated. Birech in the light blue in 3rd place. Jager just loping along behind, much the taller of the athletes out there in the first 8 or 10 anyway, and looking very comfortable. He has quite a card up his sleeve, does Evan Jager, with that fabulous middle distance speed that he's developed. He was already a very good miler, 3:52 miler, and then surprised himself and quite a few other people, I think, with that 3:32 in Portland just 3 weeks ago. Lagat leading then, doing a good job at the moment. Looking for 2:39 for the first kilometre. That obviously is just under 8-minute pace. 2:40 is 8-minute pace for each of the kilometres if they were to go the full distance that time. But 2:39 would bring them home in well under 8 minutes. And you're right, Stuart, this field absolutely spread eagle. Lagat and Kipsang, the pacemakers up the front end. And then it's Birech. And then Jager. Back in 5th place is Conseslus Kipruto. Then Ezekiel Kemboi, the Olympic champion, in 6th.
2:37.76 for the first kilometre, so it's inside what was asked for. But one would expect them to settle down in the mid part of this race and then to come again in the final 1,000 metres, but they're certainly on song. But what I like about Jaeger is the way in which he does compete. He won the American trials, and as you said, 4th time, it's his 4th time, but he's gained so much in confidence. He's not afraid to run, he's not afraid to attack the Kenyans, and that's so good. He's an 8.4 man at his best, so he's inside that sort of territory at the moment. Whether he can stay with it, only time will tell.
Lagat's job done. The first kilometre almost world record pace. Kipsang clears that water jump along with Birech and Jaeger in 3rd place. Ezekiel Kemboi has now moved into 4th place, perhaps recognises the danger of this trio easing away from him. Conseslus Kipruto in 5th place. But it's very hard to accelerate when somebody's moving at under 8-minute tempo and actually gain on them. And that gap between Jaeger in 3rd and Kemboi, probably about 10 or 12 metres now as they go through with 4 laps to run. Here is Philippidis. Yeah, that's a nice clearance. No trouble at all for Philippidis. He did set out a 19-month suspension between 2007 and 2009 for doping. The Greek world indoor champion from last year. He's the reigning world indoor champion, therefore, from Sopot.
This is Kendricks, as you can see, his 2nd attempt at 5 metres and 71. Let's see what he can do here. There's a lot of success over this, and he's joined them too, but that failure first failure at 5:71 will certainly affect later on, I would think, because failures can count if everything else is equal. There it is, 5th place.
The gap between Jaeger in 3rd, left a picture, and Ezekiel Kemboi is growing. That's 20 metres now. 5:18, remember, we're looking for at 2 kilometres. Here it comes. Has Kipsang done a good job? I sense he has, although it may not be as quick as that lightning fast. 2:39.96, 5:17.72. Just about perfect at 2 kilometres. And Jaeger is just a picture of calm, isn't he, in 2nd place? Is it deceptive? Birech, he overtakes on the inside.
Well, this is confidence for you. He's going to have a go, isn't he? And Jaeger certainly wants to be the first man from the USA to get under 8 minutes in this event. I mean, goodness me, he's really going strong. And Birech, this is the first time I've seen Birech challenged at this stage in the race, and it's so good to see.
Jaeger then with just under 2 laps to run, leads by 1.5 metres from Birech. Under pressure now. Birech, the diamond race leader. Big wins in Rabat and Oslo and Shanghai. He was 2nd in duty, and remember, to Ezekiel Kemboi, who has been blown away by this tempo. Look at that gap. Kemboi is fully 35 metres, maybe 40 metres down now, as Evan Jaeger continues to look very calm with a lap and a half to run. Just loping, absolutely loping. If he could have a little glance around now and see Birech, I think he might start turning the screw, because I just feel as though Birech is under a bit of pressure here. He is a 7:58 man from last year. I described him earlier as perhaps the future of Kenyan steeplechasing. But with 500 to run, has Jaeger got the beating of the little 22-year-old right behind him?
Still looking good. And Jaeger has that gap. Birech has had the opportunity of just sitting there behind him. When will he attack? Will he attack, and will he be able to attack?
Evan Jaeger then. Now he can begin to wind it up. He's got such long legs, such a long stride, that he never really looks like he's accelerating much, although there's a clear acceleration there from Jaeger, and into the back straight, 300 metres to run. And Birech looks beaten. This is rare. Enjoy this if you're an American. Enjoy this if you like to see somebody get amongst the East Africans, the Kenyans in particular, who've utterly dominated the steeplechase year after year, decade after decade, in fact. 200 metres to run. Jaeger, well inside the last 200 metres. It's an inside water jump here. Negotiates that well the final time. Now turns into the straight. And this crowd here in the Stade de France appreciate what they're seeing, because Evan Jaeger is surely running for a sub-8 minute clocking here. He's gone down. Jaeger, get up, concentrate, move, keep going. Birech heading for the line. He's going to take this. He cleared it well. I cannot believe it. Jaeger crosses the line. They're just outside 8 minutes, surely. What an utter disaster when 99.9% of the job was done for Evan Jaeger. A lack of concentration, so out of character, Stuart.
Well, he came high over that hurdle and his legs just collapsed under him when he came off the hurdle, off the barrier. He was so tired, he'd given absolutely everything, and that's such a shame. Biric will admire that performance by Jaeger, I know he will. He takes the win and he takes a sub-8 in 7:58.83, but I tell you what, this crowd will very much appreciate the performance of Evan Jaeger of the United States. It was a fabulous performance by him. He's got a personal best. He shakes his head. Well, he might. But nevertheless, that was a fantastic performance by him.
Let's watch this again. He comes here, having destroyed Biric over the last 200 metres, grabs that one with his left foot. The legs just buckle. He just clips it with his left back foot. And Biric seizes the opportunity and sprints like mad for the line. Jaeger appears not to have hurt himself. Good for him, Stuart, to get up so quickly and run 8:00.45, an American record. But it's just that right leg collapsing beneath him and then the right foot scraping on the ground. Down he went. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. It's an unforgiving event, that's for sure. Jairus Kipchoge Biric then gets more Diamond League points for that win. Jaeger falling at the final barrier. Conseslus Kipruto third, a long way back, 8:09.90. The women's shot put saw the return to competition of Valerie Adams, but the Olympic champion could finish only 5th tonight on this return from operations last September. In 3rd place, the US champion Michelle Carter, in fine form, the former world junior champion, with over 20 metres last week, her second longest ever throw, throwing 19 metres 37 here tonight in round 6. The jet lag surely a factor. Liao Gong of China, the Olympic bronze medalist, though only after Ostapchuk was disqualified, so she never stood on this podium in London, going to second with 19 metres 75, that coming in the second round for the Chinese. But the winner, well, the outstanding world number 1 at the moment, in the absence of Adams for all intents and purposes, Kristina Schwanitz. In round 6, 20 metres 31. She had 3 throws beyond 20 metres. Completely dominant on the night, the reigning European champion both indoors and out. But for Adams, she would be world indoor champion, world outdoor champion. And things may change as this season progresses. Schwanitz in fine fettle. Confirmation of Schwanitz's dominance then by over half a metre. The winner in the shot put for women ahead of Gong and Michelle Carter.
Well, there's part of the start list for the women's 800 metres. Poistagova, Saunders, Jovic, Mazova, Lupo, and Bushell. There's the rest. Ludlow, Almanza, watch out for her, and also Eunice Sum, of course, and Chanel Price, with Usovic acting as pacemaker, looking to take them through in 56.5 at 400 metres. So, the women's 800 metres. We'll see how serious in the early part of the race Eunice Sum is. She's really motoring around the outside, and Almanza, the Cuban, just latching on to her, just behind Molly Ludlow of the United States. But Sum has been such a very, very good athlete, and it's really taken Usovic a long time to get onto the outside. Price is there, so is Sum, so is Almanza and Ludlow.
Well, Ludlow's an aggressive racer. She likes to go out hard, but I think Usovic went out a bit too quickly there. I got her at about 26.5 at 200 metres. Now she's slowed, and they're gaining on her almost too quickly. She seems almost tied up. A glance over her shoulder there. She went to sleep to Usovic. What is she playing at? She might as well get off the track now. She's just in the way.
Well, all the big 3 or 4 have just latched in behind her now. Sum is leading the group. Lidlow is in second. Almanza is in third. 400 metres to go. 56.33, which is just 0.2 faster than she was asked for. So, in a sense, she's done all right. But for that short moment, she was causing a real problem, wasn't she?
You don't need that, Stuart, with 250, 300 metres gone in an 800. You just want a nice steady tempo. That's the whole point. It's ironic that she started so fast, then slowed, and then picked it up again. Just get out the way now.
Well, Sum now taking over and going into the lead with just over 200 metres to go. Almanza in second place, then Ludlow in third place. And with just 200 metres to go, less than 200 metres to go now, the two big names really powering into the straight now. And Sum once again, totally unbeaten this season. Can she be beaten here? Buchel going very strongly, and so is Price. Buchel now running very wide, but Sum is coming through ahead of the in-form Almanza. So Sum wins, Almanza in second place. And what a run by Buchel in third place. Good performance. 1:57 exactly. And remember, no woman has been quicker than 1:57 for more than 2 years. The Diamond League record, 1:56.59. That was by Niyonsaba of Burundi. I wonder if it'll be rounded down. It might well be rounded down. And if it is, then that will be 1:56.99. It has been rounded down. And we have seen the first sub 1:57 in 2 years.
Well, she's very strong, Stuart, despite some sporadic pacemaking. That's a really good run from Sum to take that one, and to dip under 1:57 makes it all the sweeter. Almanza there, great run from the young Cuban, 1:57.70, a personal best for her. Good run too from Molly Ludlow in fourth place. Personal best for her, 1:58.68. Really good times here, and it confirms that conditions down there on the track, while it's windy up here in the stands, are really nice.
Well, there you've got the result. 1:56.99 personal best, and Almanza personal best, and a national record for Selina Buchel of Switzerland. Great run, but there are the rest.
Well, over in the pole vault, over on the far side, Rafael Holzstepper in a little bit of trouble. 2 failures at his opening height. He is, remember, the world champion from Moscow. He's had his fair share of injuries this last couple of years, has Holzstepper. Former world junior champion, that was back in 2008. No, oh, that's a huge disappointment for Rafael Holzstepper. German pole vaulting has been so strong in depth for many, many years. It's just faltering a little bit now, perhaps. He's the only German in the competition here tonight. We used to seeing 2 or 3 or even 4 Germans in major pole vaults for many, many years. But that's a poor evening's work from Holzstepper. His season's best, remember, is his lifetime best, 5:92. He's equals second on the world rankings, but 5:71 fails his opening height as the world champion tonight.
Another athlete that's dominated the scene in an event is Catarina Ibargüen of Colombia. A 14.65 in the first round. This is the second round jump. Just a slight trailing wind. Lovely spread in the middle, and that's good. That's close to 15 meters, and that looks a little better. Ibargüen, the world champion in 2013, Olympic silver medalist, and she still says how disappointed she is that that was a loss against Rypakova. In fact, that was the last time she'd lost. It was one of those occasions that happens in a major championship, particularly the Olympics.
Well, Ibargüen going a lot better than 15-meter barrier beckons.
In the last 12 months, Daphne Schippers of the Netherlands has become the dominant force in European sprinting. Now, after competing against Jessica Ennis-Hill in Gotsis, she's left the heptathlon behind to take on the world's fastest women. Here she tests herself against Olympic champion Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce and Commonwealth champion Blessing Okagbari of Nigeria.
Still a glorious evening here. There's the lineup for this next event, the women's 100.
Here it is, and Talou, Bryant, Okagbari, Gardner, Fraser-Pryce, Ahore, Schippers, Morrison and Mang. What a lineup this is. Right on the inside is Maria Jose Talou of the Ivory Coast, twice an African champion silver medalist, 200 meters, taking on the 100 here. She's won the African championship bronze medal 3 times in this event. And this is Bryant, Desiree Bryant. Her mum's French. She may well compete for France in the future. She's representing the United States here a couple of times, the world junior champion in the relay. And this is Okagbari. And what an athlete she is, long jumper, got a best of 10.79. She's a 7-meter long jumper, 7.14 her best, absolutely superb. English Gardner goes to the World Championships after second place in the US trials last weekend. Got a season's best of 10.79. So she's going in very good form, but the twice Olympic champion, Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce is in tremendous form, we're told. 2 times Olympic champion, as I said, 5 times world champion across the events, across the sprint event. Muriel Ahouret is one of the athletes who has never been discounted. Came off an unbeaten season indoors. She won 4 out of 4. And Schippers, Daphne Schippers of the Netherlands, season's best, a Dutch record, 10.94, but she's up against it here. And Natasha Morrison, right on the outside, the Jamaican, 11.03, the season's best. And now, how will she go? And how will Veronica Mang of France go? Twice the European Championship silver medalist. Once at 100 and once in the 4x1 relay, representing France, of course. The women's 100 meters.
Set.
Fraser-Pryce is out very quickly at the moment, and she's leading this race and moving away. And Okobari going well in the second bit. Okobari coming through. Fraser-Pryce gets it. Okobari in second. I think English Gardner in third. 10.75. Just a hint of a backwind at 0.2 meters per second. Well, we said she was in form, but my goodness me, what an athlete she's become. Twice the Olympic 100 meters champion. She's tiny, she's diminutive, but she has such power within that slight frame. Look at the difference in stature. Okobari, 10.80. English Gardner, 10.97. What a race. The season's best for Okobari. She's wearing her husband's name on her vest. She said, I don't mind you not saying it in commentary, but it goes on the vest. Okobari Ikoteguno of Nigeria. But Fraser-Pryce, a Jamaican, at the very best. And that was a good start. She got away really well.
Didn't she just? Yes. Although I thought also over in lane 2, Bryant got away really well, but the pickup, the speed that just carried on, accumulating 60 or 70 metres, maintaining that lead that she'd built up ahead of Okagbare. Really strong second half from the Nigerian Okagbare, but that's the best we've seen Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce for a couple of years. Wins it by the best part of a metre, 10.74 to Okagbare's 10.80. And English Gardner, the only other athlete under 11 seconds.
There it is, Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce, 10.74, world lead. Blessing Okobari Igogunor, 10.80. English Gardner, 10.97 in third.
There is Eric Kinnaird. Third time at 2.24 for the Olympic silver medalist. 2.29 now. And back on track. Gives it a little clatter. Does the American. US champion, of course. He's had a varying season. Only 7th in Shanghai, 3rd in the Prefontaine Classic in Eugene, 3rd in Oslo, albeit 3rd equal. But he will want to go so much better in Beijing than the 5th place he took in Moscow 2 years ago. And that's nice. Back on track, 2.29 first time.
And this is Sam Kendricks attempting 5.81 for the first time. Oh yes, and that was a good clearance, it really was. So Kendricks looking very good indeed. And that takes him into the lead. Just one hiccup at 5.71. But look at the way he charged into that box. Really worked to manage into that pole, which it gave back. And look at that lovely aggressive approach to pole vaulting at the top. Lovely movement. Lovely sit back and rotate.
Two third-time failures for Braz, the Brazilian. Now 5 meters 81. His first attempt for the young man who is in very good form. Oh, that's nice. Yeah, in good form tonight too. Recently set that South American record of 5.92. That was with a 2nd place in Baku. World Junior Champion 3 years back.
Well, look at this. A failure at 2.29 for Mutaz Esabarshim of Qatar. Now he needs this, or he's going to be in real trouble. And he needs certainly to go much higher if he's going to stand any chance of winning this. Got it this time. There's no celebration. He knows that that failure could cost him later on. Just lost his edge in the recent week or so. Here it is. He's in 4th place.
Still to come, we'll see the French favourite Pascal Martinot-Lagarde take on world champion David Oliver in the sprint hurdles. The men's 100 metres may be missing Usain Bolt, but it's still packed with some of the fastest men on earth. And straight after this show, you can see live athletics with the British Championships from the Alexander Stadium in Birmingham.
Yeah, the triple jump still underway. We're in the 3rd round. Yekaterina Konyeva, the world indoor champion, the European indoor champion, took maximum points for Russia in the European Team Championships a couple of weeks ago. Here she is, round 3. Oh, that's pretty big. Opened with 14.60, then 14.08, ironically, with a good following wind behind it. But that's better. It's way beyond 14.50. Good on the board for Konyeva. She served a 2-year doping ban between 2007 and 2009, and yet was Russian team champion in Cheboksary, can you believe? But that's a nice 3rd round effort. 14.72 for Konyeva. There's a battle on her hands, though. Here's Siplikov taking his first attempt at 2.32. Nice that. Honestly, the Russians, if it's not Shustov or it's Ukov, then it's somebody else, Siplikov. They've just got such strength and depth in many of the technical disciplines. Philippidis then next to go. And he in a little bit of trouble. First time clearances at the first 2 heights for him, 5.56 and 5.71. That's better, yeah. Second time for Philippidis at 5.81, the world indoor champion. Ironically, although he won the world indoors last year in Poland, he's only 5th at the European indoors this year, Philippidis.
Well, there's the lineup for the men's high hurdles. Basco of France in 1, Harris USA 2, Darien France 3, Oliver USA 4, Martinot-Lagarde France 5, Merritt USA 6, Ortega Cuba 7, Shubenkov Russia 8, Belosian of France in lane 9. David Oliver, the big powerhouse, who won the USA trials, didn't need to take part in it incidentally. As I said, he gets a wild card through to the World Championships by virtue of being the defending champion, and he's in lane 4. Well, it'd be interesting to see how Pascal Martinot-Lagarde, the Frenchman, who has a best this season of 13.06, just 2/100ths of a second slower than David Oliver's America time just last week. World Indoor Championship silver medalist, faltered in the Europeans. Now here is the Olympic champion. Here is the world record holder, the world indoor champion, fighting hard to get back to the sort of form that we saw in Brussels a couple of seasons ago. Never discount Ortega. The Cubans have had some good athletes in the past. Olympic Games finalist in 2012 in London. He won in Birmingham in the United Kingdom. Shubenkov, twice European champion in the hurdles. 13.09 is best. That was in 2012. He hasn't bettered that yet. A real opportunity in these conditions. But Martinot-Lagarde next to Aries Merritt. So Basco, Harris, Darien, Oliver, Martinot-Lagarde, Merritt, Ortega, Shubenkov and Belosian. The men's 110 meters hurdles.
Set.
Well, Martinot-Lagarde got away well, so did Aries Merritt on the near side, and David Oliver, the big powerful David Oliver going well, and so is Darien of France on the far side. Oliver on the near side, Ortega going well. Oliver and Ortega. Ortega gets it, I think, from Oliver, and it could be Harris in third. It was very close, and the 12.95, that was close. Now, let's see, I think Ortega could have got that. He looked pretty good to me. 12.94, Ortega did get it. Oliver just faltered in the final stages. I said watch out for this Cuban. He really is a class act. And remember, he is one of that great group of Cubans that have gone in the past. And absolutely, Dayron Robles, of course, 12.94 for Ortega.
Well, I thought Oliver had that one in the bag. I really did. He put Martin Lagarde to bed pretty early on. Martin Lagarde was a metre down, but on the near side, Ortega, really, I felt like he was away from the action, but he came through so strongly in the second half. And Oliver in the purple there here looks like a clear winner. But Ortega, over the last 2 or 3 flights, really quick. He was a metre down and more at about halfway on Oliver. But look at the way he finished, really quick off the final barrier too. And Oliver losing that one by what, 4/100ths of a second, despite going under 13 seconds for the first time this year.
It promised and it delivered. Ortega, 12.94, world lead. David Oliver, 12.98, season's best. Sergei Shubinkov, 13.06, new national record, knocks 3/100ths of a second off his previous best. Kevin Minaldo, third and final attempt at 5.81. Now Minaldo, European Championship bronze medalist in Zurich last year. Her best this season of 5.71, so really this would put him into new territory. His personal best 5.72. If he can get this, he's got a good personal best by a good margin. Oh, he's got it! He's got it! That's absolutely superb. Wonderful, wonderful piece of vaulting by him, and that's a personal best. Very aggressive on the runway, wasn't he?
Ibargüen now in this women's triple jump. 14.86 in the second round. She leads with that, backed it up with a 14.71. Remember, we saw Konieva go 14.72. That's nice. 3 good phases in round 4 for Ibargüen. Yes, the Colombian. Again, way out there towards 14.70, 14.80, something like that. Giving away a few centimetres on the board, the 31-year-old. She's very experienced. Oslo Diamond League 3 weeks back was her 25th win in succession, and this tonight might be her 26th. 14 metres 87 for Ibargüen. Again, the 15-metre barrier eludes her.
Next is the 5,000 metres world record attempt as Ethiopia's Almaz Ayana and Genzibe Dibaba meet for the first time this year. Dibaba's elder sister Tirunesh has held the record for the last 7 years, but both these women have been getting closer and closer this season.
Well, the next event on the track, the women's 5,000 metres, and this has been heralded as a world record attempt tonight between the two big names, Almaz Ayana, the world #1, and the world indoor record holder, Genzibe Dibaba. But it is a very strong field nonetheless. Only 4 athletes have ever gone under 14.20. 12 athletes in this field, however, run under 15 minutes in depth. It's a fabulously strong field, as you can see, dominated by the Ethiopians and Kenyans. Tversdorp, the Ukrainian, will be the pacemaker to 2 kilometres. But of course, one of the big challenges in women's distance running on the track when they are going for world records is they can't find athletes good enough to take them far enough into the race to assist them, which is quite different to the men's situation. Ayana there in the blue, she is the fastest in the world this year. They are the 3rd and 4th fastest athletes all time, Ayana and Genzibe Dibaba. Both those times set in May, 14.14 for Ayana, 14.19 for Dibaba. They need about 250 per kilometre to hit 14.10. So away they go. That's 68 seconds per lap if you want the detail. And Tversdorp hoping to get them to 2,000 metres along with Irene Jelagat, who might manage another lap after 2,000. But it does mean they're unlikely to get the assistance in tempo, somebody laying down the tempo, even up to halfway. And if that is the case, well, we understand that they were talked to last night, and they've agreed that after 2,400 metres, that's 6 laps, they will share the tempo with Ayana and Dibaba, alternating, taking a lap each, perhaps up to, say, 4 kilometres with 2.5 laps left.
Well, this for La Villenie, Renault, a 3rd and final attempt at 5.86. He's down the field at the moment in 5th place. The Olympic champion is having a few problems. 3 times the European champion, 6.05 this season. in Eugene. Now he needs this desperately. Oh, no. No, 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 in front of his home crowd too. And he's gone. The favourite has gone. His coach, disappointment showing on his face. But he's in 5th place. Look at that, one clearance. He only took one height, 571, and then went straight to 586, and it proved to be his downfall. It happens. He got the height. His top height was too far in front. Perhaps the adjustment on the uprights was not quite right. Look at that, he's so high over the bar and then drops on it. He knows that he's got it wrong today, and this is not the place to get it wrong, and his coach knows it, and he knows it. Tiago Braz then of Brazil, his attempt now at 586. He's had 2 failures at this height, cleared 581. It's put him in very, very good position indeed, but he really needs this. He's a 592 vaulter at his very, very best, so he knows he's capable. Oh, he's got it. He's got it. Super vault by Braz. That's going to put him in 2nd place behind Philippidis.
Well, that first kilometre, 2:54.12, when the world record was set as they go through with 9 laps to run. I can tell you that Tirunesh Dibaba ran 2:48, over 6 seconds quicker for the first kilometre. There's too many athletes in touch there. If they were really attacking the world record here, you wouldn't see 12 or 14 athletes strung out like that, but more or less in contact with each other.
It's interesting to look at the way in which Tirunesh did that. 2:48.08, you're right, but then she followed it with 2:55.56, 2:55.19. So, and it's now beginning to open out a bit.
Well, Zwaardestrup stepped aside, having done, I have to say, a very poor job. They go through 4 laps now, but 100 metres ago she stepped aside, and immediately Ayana, almost as though she was led off the leash like a dog, she surged and tore away from the pack. Dibaba's covered it, of course, the Ethiopian 24-year-old world indoor record holder at this distance. But these two, within space of 200 metres, have opened about 15 metres on the chasing group. They've gone 65.9, 72.9, 69.6, and then a 66.8. And now, as they go through with 8 laps to run, the gap is stretched to 20 metres. So Ayana has got to make amends here for what was some dreadful pacing through the first 3 or 4 laps. But I think it might be too late. Here's Donald Thomas of the Bahamas. 3rd attempt for him at 2:32. The 2007 world champion, remember, came from virtually nowhere to take that title. Donald Thomas has never really been able to repeat anything like that sort of form in subsequent championships, although he did take gold in the 2010 Commonwealth Games, albeit that a competition that is not quite the same standard. Oh, that's nice. The pressure was on. Indeed, he's not had a good evening in terms of first-time clearances. Took 2 attempts at 2:24, 2 attempts at 2:29, and there, a 3rd time a clearance at 2:32 for Donald Thomas. Only the 2nd man clear. Siplakov of Russia, a perfect card up to and including this height, 2:32. Holds the lead, of course, but Donald Thomas now in 2nd place.
There's trouble ahead for Bashim. In this high jump, he's got to get this, but with 2 failures, oh no, lackluster in every sense. He's gone out. 2nd time, 2:29. He's lost his edge, hasn't he? He went to Oslo along with a very good field to attack the world record. It didn't work there, and it hasn't worked here either, and there's a little bit of a problem with this young man.
So, 800 metres to run then. Ayana with Dibaba, the lead almost exactly 100 metres to the group of 6 watching each other. 70.6 that lap there from Ayana with 800 to run. She's not got the energy in her legs at the moment, but she'll need to, because Tirunesh Dibaba is a fearsome kicker. Genzebe Dibaba is a fearsome kicker. Too many Dibabas out there, that's the trouble. Genzebe Dibaba ran 3:55 indoors for 1,500 metres last winter. Is she feeling strong? Is she feeling like the kick is there? I think she is. I think she's just biding her time now. When will she unleash that kick? 600 metres to run. And Ayana still high-kneeing, tiptoeing along, but there isn't the same drive there. And Genzebe Dibaba in second place. Surely now just gathering herself psychologically for the big, big kick. When will she go? 2:39 up to 4,400 metres. Only 5 seconds out of schedule. But what can Genzebe Dibaba do here? She draws alongside Ayana. 1 lap to run. 70 again for that lap. 70.6 and 70.5 for those 2 laps to the bell. And now it's all over, surely.
Yeah, she's gone. That's a terrific attack. She sat behind Ayala for a long, long time, Yana, a long time, and then gritted her teeth, put the pedal down, and she's not going to be beaten here. It's going to be a pretty quick last lap, I have to tell you, but it was so far outside of what they wanted. But this is a very, very quick finish.
14:44 with 200 metres to run. The world record, remember, 13:44 rather. The world record, 14:11. Dibaba, you can glance up at the big screen now and see that she has totally destroyed Ayana, who has been passed for second place. Dibaba leads into the straight by some 40 or 50 metres. Ayana, in fact, still in second, but a long, long way back. She's lost 50 or 60 metres now as Genzebe Dibaba comes to the line now, crosses it in 14:15.43, 61.17 for that final circuit for Genzebe Dibaba. It is a meeting record yet again. Genzebe Dibaba making the most of what was a dreadfully to and froing sort of tempo throughout that race for 10 or 11 laps. Never at any time did it really settle down into the sort of tempo that was needed. And the irony is that both of them were there, and it looked like they were trying to get that right tempo, Stuart, 68 seconds per lap. They both did do their part. They both took the lead in turn to push it along. But frankly, the whole demeanour of the race was set up through some awful pacemaking in the early laps from Tvedestrup. And the big question is, where can ladies find pacemakers who will do a good job? Just 1 or 2 of them, when the men have got probably a dozen to choose from on the world scene. Genzebe Dibaba winning then a meeting record of 14:15.41 from Almaz Ayana, 14:21. Mercy Trono way back in third place. Second attempt at 5 meters 91 for the Greek. 5:85 is personal best. This would be a national record. He's already raised it this year with that personal best, 5:85. Oh, that's good. Oh boy, and he knows the significance of that. And how will they be cheering that in troubled Greece right now? That's a lovely clearance. He passed at 5:86, the previous height, as you can see. 5:91, in fact, for Philippidis. But nonetheless, a height that this year only a handful of men have gone clear beyond. Lavillenie, Braz and Holtstepper, 5:92 or better. That makes him 4th best in the world this year, 4th equal best in the world this year.
Well, this big crowd looking forward to the final track event of the evening, the men's 100 metres. It doesn't feature Usain Bolt. He's gone off to Germany to get some treatment, but this is a pretty good lineup. Biron, France, Collins and Kitson-Nevis, Vico, France, Powell, Jamaica, Rogers, USA, Carter, Jamaica, Vaughan, USA, Martina, Netherlands, and Newman, France, in lane 9. Kim Collins, then, a man who really is without age. He's 39 and still running sub-10. Season's best 9:98. Vico, the Frenchman, picked up his Olympic 4x1 medal earlier on this afternoon. And when, of course, the Americans was disqualified with the doping admission of Tyson Gay, the French quartet, Vico, Lemaitre, Bessonneau and Pognon picked up their medal in front of this big crowd. Asafa Powell, Olympic champion in the relay, world champion in the relay, 9:72 his best in 2008. He's got a 9:84 on the 26th of June. And then there's Mike Rogers, third in the US trials. He goes to his 3rd world championships for this man. The men's 100 metres.
Set.
Well, Powell got away well, didn't he? Lift the blocks, and Collins going well on the inside. Oh, now Asafa Powell's away from this, and so Vico going well too. Vico gets second. Brilliant run by the Frenchman, 9.81. And Vico, the Frenchman, really showed some great form chasing the big Jamaican. Asafa Powell, a French record for Jimmy Vico. A wonderful, wonderful run by him. 9.86 equals the European record as well, I reckon. That's fantastic. Wow, he looked very, very solid, but so did Jimmy Vico. The Frenchman, a European, running 9.86. That's brilliant, absolutely superb.
He's in the red, fourth to right, Stuart. He got a brilliant start, pal. Indeed, he took a few inches out of Vico, and I thought that might intimidate Vico, because second to right there in the purple, of course, brilliant start from Collins as well. But Vico came back at him. Look at him. He actually closed over the last 25, did Vico, by probably 6 or 8 inches. Powell was strong. He was gone. 9.81. He was absolutely flying. But Jimmy Vico, well, there's more to come. He looked so strong through the second half there. All credit to him, because he wasn't intimidated there, despite the fact he was a little bit down, as you can see him really well in that shot between Collins and Powell.
And the result is Asafa Powell, 9.81, season's best. Jimmy Vico, 9.86, equals the area record, the European record, and the French record, of course. And Mike Rogers, 9.99. He'll go to the World Championships. He was third, just ahead of Nestor Carter at 10.02.
Well, the men's pole vault won tonight by Konstantinos Philippidis in 5 meters 91, a national record for the Greek ahead of Tiago Braz of Brazil. Good vaulting from him too. Sam Kendricks in third place, the American champion.
Let's check on the result of the high jump. Siplakov, 2.32, the Russian winning this one on this day. Donald Thomas, 2.32 in second, and Antonios Mastoras in third. Disappointment for Bashim, though, on the night.
Well, the women's triple jump won yet again by the Colombian Katerina Barguen, 14 meters 87. Good jumping, though, from the Russian Yekaterina Konyeva, 14.72 for second. Niadzieva Minenko in third.
The next Diamond League meeting is from Lausanne, and you can see highlights on Saturday at 11 on BBC Two. Stay with us now as we head to Birmingham for an afternoon of live coverage from the British Championships. And a reminder, there's more top-class action on the BBC in 3 weeks' time as we return to the Olympic Stadium for the London Anniversary Games.